And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media, always providing you the timely truth, being your number one consumer advocate. We're going to educate, enlighten, and most importantly, we want to engage with you so we can help you win.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline number. Call or text that line. Any comments, questions you have, we'd love to hear from you. Got a lot of calls last week. People looking for all types of legal advice. They're looking for credit improvement, mortgage, real estate, all types of calls coming in. We had a great lineup last week as well as this week. We are Intelligent Talk Radio. We want you to check out our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website at consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors there, and we want to help you win in any marketplace. That's our goal. Scott Kepler's in the house, Mortgage Approval Group. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you, Brandon. Always great to be here. Looking forward to having a good show and having some great topics to talk about. I know that you mentioned a couple things before we got started. So
the trade war.
Yeah.
How's it going to affect mortgage, real estate?
Talk about that a little bit. And I know Patrick is wanting to talk about insurance and how that kind of ties in with the real estate arena and the mortgage arena. So
yeah, man,
we got some great topics today.
Good stuff. Yeah, we got the host of the Sports Zone in the house, also Friday Night Live show host, Patrick Highland, insurance expert. Welcome in.
Thank you, Brandon, as always. Pleasure to be here, my man.
Yeah, buddy. What are we going to discuss today?
Well, with our man Scott Kepler here, which surprised me, which it's great to see him. So
yeah,
that was a good surprise. I help out people when they get a mortgage, $200,000, $300,000 mortgage, Brandon. God forbid one of the spouses or you have a single person with kids buying that place.
That's right.
You know what? God forbid they pass away. I want to have coverage for them to have that mortgage paid for.
Yeah.
And then you have a house for the spouse and the kids. And that's so important that people don't realize. Also, I got a great connection to help out people with the homeowners insurance, too. So
cool.
Whatever I can do for people, I'm here to help.
Awesome. Good stuff. He's a consumer advocate on Friday nights, and also he has his Sports Zone show, 1380 The Biz. That's when? Sunday, 11?
7 from 11 to 12. Yeah, we have
11
a lot of
to
fun.
12.
Yeah, a
nice.
lot of fun talking sports.
Good stuff. Awesome. All right. So it's Intelligent Talk Radio. Some intelligent folks here in studio. Giving a shout out to our official restaurant partner, the Lucky Dill. They got a deli, New York City bar, Brooklyn bakery, catering. They have banquets as well. The Lucky Dill, great for all types of food, sandwiches. They're home of the sandwich that ate Brooklyn. 4606 West Boy Scout Boulevard in Tampa. They also have a location in Palm Harbor, and they're much more than just sandwiches, guys. They've got great entrees, salads, all types of wonderful food. Very friendly wait staff and TVs everywhere. So if you're a sports fan, it's kind of got that sports theme. Really cool restaurant. The Lucky Dill Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And I'm going to be speaking at an event on Monday, the 20th, coming up right here in Tampa at GTAR. It's the Greater Tampa Realtor Association. Become a Better Agent, BABA 31. And I'm going to be speaking about branding, how to brand yourself, how to grow your business through branding, and then also negotiation. Learn to negotiate like the FBI. I'm going to be teaching some cutting-edge strategies on negotiation. And also my wife, Lindsay, is going to be talking about feng shui. She's a feng shui consultant, also a realtor, and she's going to talk about how you can create a better workspace with feng shui. And we want to help you with anything that we can help you with real estate related, buying, selling, or investing. PlatinumMVPteam.com. That's our website there. So let's jump right into it. We got Scott Kepler in the house, Mortgage Approval Group. Front page of the paper says China tariff slams stocks. A trade war could hurt both economies, but the U.S. and China are refusing to budge. Now, what we've always heard is, when this happens, when these things happen, the stock market has been taking a hit lately. And when these things happen, typically money's got to go somewhere. Money likes to flow. Money likes to be free flowing. Of course, we like to invest it in real estate for people. But when it's coming out of the stock market, where does it go?
Typically into the bond market, something that's a little safer. It's not having as much fluctuation, if you will, as they're seeing in the stock market at that point. And, we're talking about people who are moving money in the millions or billions, per day,
big time.
as well. So when one place takes a hit, they want to try to eliminate as many of the losses as they can, so they move it to something safer. And it happens to be mortgage bonds a lot of times because, they're based on a standard underwriting guideline. They're based on a standard, interest rate as far as the market's concerned. And when those mortgage bonds tend to go up in price, that helps interest rates go down. And so it has a negative effect. You're going to feel it, a little bit in your stock portfolio, your retirement account, if you're, in the stocks on that. But it's going to benefit you when it comes time to, refinance or purchase a house, because interest rates are going to be a little bit lower.
Right.
And that's where, my team and I come in, because, we follow the news and the charts and everything that has to do with interest rates, so that we can help detect, if you will, the best time for you to, take advantage of locking that interest rate in. And we even have a program set up with some of our investor partners where we can get them pre-approved ahead of time and lock their loan prior to them having a house picked out. So if it's the ideal time to do that, or you just want to be super safe, then we can get that done for somebody too.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to look at it that way. So with the mortgage side, you look at the overall economy. Things are still rocking along. We're here in the spring buying season. I mean, it is upon us right here. The next 4 to 6 weeks are really key.
Yeah.
A lot of properties going to be moved during the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, that we talked about the perfect storm. I keep calling it, because the tariff war, if you will, that's kind of going on right now is helping interest rates. And that wasn't obviously predicted, as far as where we were 3 weeks ago when we first started talking about this kind of perfect storm that we're coming into. But with that coming into play and bringing rates down even more, it's just going to make it even more of a frenzy. And I think, it should be. It's a great time for buyers who, want to take advantage of low interest rates to either increase their capability to buy more or borrow more for the same amount per month as their, budget, or to be able to stay with the purchase budget that they have in mind and come in with a lower payment. Either way, it helps them in the long run. So it's, it's a great time to be a, home buyer, and at the same time, it's a great time to be a home seller, because there's going to be a flood of, buyers coming to the market that want to take advantage of a time that's available to, get a low interest rate, and, that there's quality houses on the market, and, that everybody wants it,
Trade up, trade down, closer to the beach, closer to work. There's a great time to do it. Rates are great. By the way, if you just joined us, Brandon Rhymes here. I'm the host of your show. We're talking with Scott Kepler, Mortgage Approval Group. Patrick Highland's in the house as well. More coming up from Patrick here in a moment. But I want to stick on the topic of mortgage and finance. When you look at, one of the things that really, frustrates me is some of the misleading strategies that some of these companies out there is doing, especially when they say, no closing costs, we pay all your closing costs, there's 0% commission fees on these listings, or 1%, and when you look at the stats and you actually see what is actually, when the deals are closed and funded, and you pull the realtor board stats, they're just flat out not being truthful. They're coming out and saying, oh, we're going to pay all your closing costs. How do they do that? How could they possibly pay all your closing costs and not have, it's like they're running a nonprofit there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that profit's not a dirty word in their book,
right?
And it shouldn't be. I mean, we're an entrepreneur based show here,
capitalistic entrepreneur.
But at the same time, they're taking advantage of a loophole. The money's going to flow one way or the other.
Yep.
So they either are building it into the interest rate and then giving it back. So they build in enough to cover the closing cost.
Yep.
Plus what their profit margin is, and then they utilize that portion of the profit But what that means in a lot of cases is that you're getting charged a higher interest rate
Yes.
than you would if you just either paid that cost of the refinance out of pocket or utilized a little bit of your equity to pay it instead.
Right.
You know, because by doing that, you actually come out ahead. And that's something that I talk to folks about is I'll show it to them both ways. Here's the math. You know, the numbers don't lie. And in most cases, it does. You know, the exception being in some cases, if they're doing a refinance for a certain purpose of, you know, clearing up some debt because they want to be able to purchase a house a year from now or 2 years from now, or they've got something else going on in their life that they need to clean something else, you know, clean things up a bit, or they're going to be getting out of that house. They're going to exit it in the next, you know, couple to 3 years.
Right.
You know, and then at that case, it may make sense to do that because it's going to cost you less money over the long run than losing that equity for that amount of time.
Yeah.
But that's where it comes into communicating with the professional and let me know what your goals are so that I can help you accomplish them in the most cost-effective way.
Yeah.
Because there is a place for that type of, you know, situation where it makes more sense to, you know, let the interest rate pay it because you're not going to keep it that long.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Same reason somebody might consider an adjustable rate mortgage versus a fixed, you know, for a short-term gain, and it's not a long-term strategy. So there's a lot of reasons why. All right, stay with us right here. Consumer Quarterback Show. We got Scott Kepler in the house. Mortgage Approval Group. Support your local lender. Patrick Highland, the insurance quarterback here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us right after this short break. We'll be right back.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, PlatinumMVPteam.com. This segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brothers Easy Moving, I can tell you from first-hand experience that they are a first-class organization. They do a great job over there. They personally moved my family to our new home, and they are among the best reviewed movers in all of Tampa Bay. On Google, they have a 4.6 rating, 4.5 rating on Yelp, A rating on Better Business Bureau, and an A rating on the Angie's List. So they've also won the Super Service Award multiple times. Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Give the owner, Gary Thacker, a call. Let him know that the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot listings here. 2614 St. John's. This is a Tampa property. Just reduced the price down to $192. Great opportunity for just a great home here in Tampa Bay. Concrete block, solid property, lots of renovations on the inside as well. Got a nice sitting area in the back, and it's just a great opportunity. Fenced backyard here in Tampa Bay, kind of that West Tampa area. A great opportunity here. And another Odessa property, 12610 Port Marnock. This is in a golf community in Odessa. It's in the Eagles. Golf community, front and back water views. Great opportunity. This lot, it's one of the best position lots in the whole community. The home is beautiful, great flooring throughout, just a really nice floor plan at 12610 Port Marnock. The owners are motivated, and it's another hot real estate property listing. Check them out at PlatinumMVPteam.com. All right, back here in the studio, we got Scott Kepler, Mortgage Approval Group, Patrick Highland, insurance expert, the insurance quarterback, and he's also a radio personality, host of the Sports Zone on AM 1380 The Biz, Sundays, 11 a.m. So when it comes to the mortgage side, this is a good power combination because you've got the insurance products that will help someone that does have a big mortgage because sometimes people fail to plan, and that's planning to fail.
Absolutely, Brandon. I say that on the show all the time. Nobody plans to fail, obviously, but when they fail to plan, they have issues and a big problem. The cool thing with Scott right now, and he can't talk about this, but I'll just kind of go over it a little bit. You're looking at 4 to maybe 4.5% on a mortgage right now. There's products out there that I can help out people with that are safe, sound retirement issues and that protects them in case they pass away prematurely to cover the house. At 8.33% is the last 30 years of S&P. Okay. So you can't lose on that deal. The reason I bring that up is with the mortgage, you pay the 4%. A lot of people say, Patrick, I'm going to pay off my mortgage. I go, don't do that. Yeah. Keep paying it the 4%.
Yep.
Put that money into this vehicle and get yourself 8.33%. And then you're sound and set. You spoke about the stock market. I'm not a big proponent of that, Brandon. Now, if you're in your 30s or 40s, you can play the game a little bit. But when you get into your 50s and 60s, or you're married with kids and you're on a tight budget, I wouldn't play that game. I mean, that's like going to the Hard Rock Casino here in Tampa. I wouldn't, advise doing that on a regular basis.
Yep.
It's just not make any sense. And it's so funny you mentioned earlier about paying for things. There was an old commercial, mechanic commercial, Midas. Pay me now or pay me later. Gets back to your thing about this no-cost financing and I'll cover your closing costs. Stop it. Scott's going to take care of you. He's going to make sure the price is right. When he does the numbers, you're going to know you got the best deal in town. And that's so important. And if you meet with me, I'm going to show you the best deal in town. I'm a fiduciary. I'm not liable to any one company, Brandon. I don't have to go with any one carrier to get you right. Okay, whatever best for you is what we'll go with. And there's no fee to me. I'm going to help people out. I help out the veterans, as you're well aware of. I help out your regular people here. I help out anybody who needs assistance. I help out a lot of people with Medicare. That's a heck of a maze. There's times to take Medicare, there's times not. There's times to retire early, times not to retire early, depending on your situation and what makes the best sense to you. And if I can't give out my number, just real quick, anybody'd like to call me, 813-966-1052, Patrick Highland. And, I'll sit down with you over a cup of coffee. Brandon, right now, I have a book, Mission 1 Million. to get 1 million people out of debt across this country. I got a bunch of guys that are really pushing this and making it happen. If you sit down and do some simple credit things, simple planning, you can be set. People in their 20s and 30s, if they just put a little bit of money away a month, they'll have over $1 million when it's time to retire, which in their year will be about 75. Our year is going to be about 70. And then they're in good shape. So it's just important. Another advocate position to take, because we're here to help people. We're not here to sell. I love your statements about commission, Brett. It's not about the commission. It's about helping you. You know this from Zig Ziglar. You and I both attended seminars back in the day with him and listened to his tapes and read his book. Real simple. The more people you and I help out, the more rewarding and blessed we're going to be. Yeah. It's that simple.
Yep. Patrick Highland here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, insurance expert. So insurance is, even myself in the business, real estate and finance and hosting shows for almost 6 years now. When I hear the word insurance, there's so many types: property, casualty. What do you specifically offer, and what do you recommend?
Here's the thing, Brent. I've been in the business for over 30 years now. Okay, been on the radio for over 20. I can help out anybody with anything, especially your connections or some of my connections, or we both have connections of knowing somebody out there to help people out. Property and casualty, I have connections, okay? Car insurance, I have connections. Medicare, annuities, life insurance, and that's another thing. Not one mortgage fits everybody, not one insurance policy fits everybody. And that's what you have to look at when you meet with somebody. If they're just pushing one thing on you, they're not looking out for your best interest.
Right.
And if they're not trying to help you get to the next level, they're not there for you. That's another thing. Take the extra step. Somebody might ask me a question. I go, you know what? I don't know about that one. I need to call a guy who's $1 million round table guy, or, $1 million annuity guy, or a property casualty guy who does $1 million houses, and see what we can do for you.
Right.
That makes the most business sense.
Right.
Or a veteran says, does it make sense for me to get on Medicare or stay with the VA? Let's see what you have. Then I can make an intelligent, rational decision for you, Brandon. And that's what it's all about.
Consultative approach.
Yeah, man, that's all. I mean, it all works out. You take care of people, if you're spiritual or universal, however it works in your brain, it all comes back to you, man. Do the right thing for the right reasons.
Yep.
I saw something the other day, Brandon, very important. You know what? There's no cost for doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And there's no charge waking up every morning and being a gentleman.
That's right. Fiduciary.
Yes.
You mentioned you're a fiduciary.
Yeah.
What exactly does that mean?
That means I'm not obligated to any one carrier to throw business their way. I'm here to help. I look at what you have. If it makes business sense, we go for it. If it doesn't, we pass. There's many people I'll see on a daily basis, Brandon, where I say, you're set right now. But please tell a friend or a family member to have a cup of coffee with me like you just did, because they might not be as blessed and as fortunate as you are.
Well, that brings up a great point. And the same thing with real estate, same thing with mortgage, Scott. Everybody has a kid's soccer coach, maybe even a distant relative or somebody like in these different businesses. But to this, especially for your field, I would say this. You have whatever type of retirement plan, insurance plan, term life, whatever type you have. What does it hurt to have someone like you do a review of what the kid's soccer coach did, or, your cousin Leo did? Doesn't hurt anything to have that review, right?
Not at all. And there's no charge for that. I want to get you the book. And if you read the book, you will see the beauty of it. And you'll want to call me. Speaking of coaches, because we've both been in football, a bunch of coaches called me the other day. Patrick, I read the book. Yeah, I need to meet with you. Yes, I need to do this. I need to do that. I didn't believe you were right. Nothing personal. But after reading the book and it getting through my thick skull, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And it's funny because just like you showing me a house, I might go, oh, man, this ain't right. Patrick, it's on the golf course. It's on a lake. It's everything you wanted. What's up? Well, I need to think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, Patrick, you do that. And then a week later, I call you and say, you know what, Brandon, you were right.
Yeah.
When can we meet with Scott and do the mortgage and you sell me the house? It happens every day.
Well, the difference in the real estate game is that house is gone.
That's true, too. Yeah, you better be careful.
Right, Scott? They don't have the pre-approval ready. They're not ready to go.
I'm the first step. You got to talk to me first.
Yeah.
Amen.
Get the pre-approval.
But, to Patrick's point of having access to all these different insurance carriers and types of insurance, it works the same with me with the mortgages. I like to almost compare it to a personal shopper. You go to a personal shopper when you have something very specific that goal that you have to satisfy. If you're going for clothes, you might go to a guy and say, hey, look, I've got this big event coming up and I need a suit for it. And, I've got to be able to, look right, and these are the ideas that I have. And then they bring to you the right stuff.
Right.
And that's what, really all three of us do. But, Patrick and I especially will go out and find the right product that fits you.
Yeah.
Where your team will find the right house to fit all their needs. Like Patrick was talking about, look, we hit all your check boxes.
Yep.
What are we missing?
I like that personal shopper.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's perfect the way he does that.
It's a fiduciary capacity with all of us here.
Yes.
Our job is to. And I had an appointment this morning, and it was an older lady, and I said, listen, I'm going to treat you just like I would treat my mother, and I would want someone else to treat my mother. Going back to what you said, having that fiduciary capacity, wanting the best for your client, and at the same time having the resources and the know-how. The knowledge, skills, and abilities at this point. You mentioned 20 years. We're all been in the business a long time, and we want to help you. So that's our goal here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors at our website, consumerqb.com. We've got Scott Kepler in the house, Mortgage Approval Group, Patrick Highland, insurance quarterback as well. I think Patrick's got to take off, but we'll be right back here after this short break. And here's our feel-good segment. A note inside a book sets off a chain of random acts of kindness right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, #1 real estate company in the world, billion-dollar technology platform. Gary Keller launches his iBuyer program as well. Keller Offers has debuted here in May as well, and a lot of cool things happening around the Consumer Quarterback Show. Growing our team, we're looking for agents that might want to join our real estate team. If you know of someone out there that's a real estate agent that wants to future-proof their business and really take a deep look into what's going on in the economy, not just micro here in the Tampa Bay market, but a macro, we'd love to talk to you about that and talk to you, anybody in your network that's a real estate agent looking to maybe change teams. We'd love to talk to them. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com, and 813-670-7372. 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline number. Call or text anytime. We've got Scott Kepler in the house, Mortgage Approval Group. We're going to talk about different mortgage products, things happening in the economy. Also, 10 ways to overcome fear and break out of your comfort zone, as this is the Wall Street Business Network. A lot of business owners, salespeople out there listening to us, and we appreciate all of our listeners. From time to time, I'm out in the community. People are saying, hey, man, we love your show. We love the motivational stuff, too. Mix in some of that, more of that motivational. So we're going to bring you some of that. We're going to talk about negotiation as well, as I'm teaching negotiation at the Greater Tampa Realtors Association. I'm going to give you some strategies with negotiation here in this segment as well. I want to let you know about a couple of hot property listings. This is one of my favorite listings here, 3607 Casablanca Avenue in beautiful St. Pete Beach. This is a great opportunity. Two bedroom, 2-bath property, cute color, cute home, just an awesome backyard, private backyard, pool, and a hot tub. And the best part to me is you walk out, you have the bikeability, the walkability. You come out, you go to the Don Cesar Hotel, the world famous Don Cesar. They've got the spa, they've got the bar, the dining, just a great place, the beach, the pool area there. Or maybe you want to mix it up, you go to the Don Cesar, take in that beauty, or the Hotel Zamora. You go to the rooftop, you look at that beautiful rooftop from the Hotel Zamora. They've got an awesome pool, boat docks, and you've got your private beach there at 3607 Casablanca Avenue, St. Pete Beach. Beautiful property. PlatinumMVPTeam.com. Here's another waterfront beauty, 223 South River Hills. This one's in Temple Terrace. Now, this is a great opportunity here, close to USF. So it's a large home, just a large floor plan, beautiful property here on River Hills Drive in Temple Terrace. 5 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, single family home on a conservation lot on the Hillsborough River. A couple of great real estate property listings here in Tampa Bay.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
This segment is brought to you by the Bill Maher Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bill Maher Beach Resort on Gulf Boulevard and Treasure Island, filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation that much more special. The Bill Maher Beach Resort has been one of the most sought-after destinations in the Treasure Island area for many years. And whether you're planning a local staycation or a vacation, maybe a wedding, business trip, they've got great accommodations for you. Clyde Smith is the general manager. A great opportunity to go hang out on the beach. Nightly live music. You've got 2 pools on site. Sloppy Joe's restaurant, bar. Just a great opportunity. Bill Maher Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Give them a call. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got Scott Kepler in the house. Local lender, support the local economy, Mortgage Approval Group. And one of the things I wanted to talk about here, Scott, was 10 ways to overcome fear and break out of your comfort zone. So many times in sales, especially, you have a good month and then you follow that with a bad month. I mean, there's things, people get comfortable. I think it's a natural thing. It's kind of like a thermostat on your AC. It's cold, it's going to kick it in. It's going to bump the heat down or whichever way you're going with it. But fear is a natural and essential part of growth. Every time we consciously choose to step outside of our comfort zone, the next uncomfortable thing becomes a little bit easier. So what we did is we looked at the Young Entrepreneur Council and how they take those small but powerful steps. And here's what they said. Number 1 is take nothing for granted. So it talks about, learning through suffering, and I'm grateful for the suffering, going through the divorce, whatever it might be, breaking up with a business partner, take nothing for granted. What do you say about that?
Take nothing for granted is excellent advice. I think that goes to, what Patrick was saying earlier about, planning ahead, and just putting a little bit, aside for a rainy day, if you will.
Rainy day fund.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that all of us in the mortgage industry and the real estate industry learned, 10 or 11 years ago, and is that you just don't take it for granted. And, you lay out your goals and you make a plan to get there.
Yeah, and you execute. It says, taking your business relationships or even relationships for granted, that it causes that's
that
complacement.
Part of it's a whole different, that's a whole different level of taking things for granted. Is that, all of us entrepreneurs tend to be a little bit on the workaholic side. And, there's a lot of talk about that work-life balance, and sometimes you have to remember that you have to take your foot off the accelerator for a little while and decompress and spend time with the people that you love and, not take them for granted and let them know that, you're out there hustling and doing all that stuff to be able to provide them, with everything that they want.
Yeah. What's a way you can mix it up, right? Like, how can you mix it up in the relationship? How can you mix it up, keep things exciting, keep it interesting?
I think it's all about communication and pre-planning, meaning that, you try to go into the weekend with something on the agenda, that you're trying to accomplish that allows you to spend time together, or an event or something like that. It's those weekends where, sometimes they're a blessing when you don't have anything on the calendar and you end up just kind of lounging around, which doesn't happen too often, but
right.
I think that's all part of it.
Downtime. And then number 2, it says switch up your routine. Routines are much about comfort as they are about efficiency each day. Switching up the routines is one thing that they're saying here as well.
Yeah, I'm probably not the best person to give advice on switching up routines. I'm very borderline probably OCD with my my daily routines of things.
Real structured.
Yeah, very structured, because it's the only way I can get things done. Otherwise I get distracted too easily. So switching up routines is a bad thing for me, but I can see that changing your habits might be a better way to put it, so that your routines aren't producing bad things.
Yeah.
Or, like one thing that I try to do or have been working on personally is like trimming my morning routine down to where I can accomplish everything I need to in a shorter amount of time.
Yeah.
So that I can get on with my day faster.
Yeah. We're creatures of habit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But sometimes you got to change those habits. And I think that's really what it's referring to.
Yeah.
Is that switching up your routine, because if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over, we all know, that's the definition of insanity. If it's not working, switch it up. And I think sometimes, that's where a mentor or a coach really comes into play, because somebody who's been in the trenches before or has been in the trenches longer than you, or sometimes just a buddy or a partner or a colleague, somebody that you respect that is hustling. Sometimes you just need to sit down and talk to somebody and tell them what's happening, and they'll be able to give you a different point of view on how to change things up, whether it be your routine or maybe you're just a little bit in a funk and you need somebody to tell you to, don't sweat it. Let's move on.
Yeah. It's always good to have those outside perspectives, get perspective from someone else.
Yeah, for sure.
10 ways to overcome fear and break out of your comfort zone here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Number 3, it says move toward your fears. So talking about moving toward the fears and putting yourself in those uncomfortable positions is going to help you grow, and it's help you develop a deep level of personal satisfaction.
And there's hundreds of quotes and sayings out there about overcoming your fears. And I think a big part of it is just doing the stuff that you think is most uncomfortable, and you hear it referred to in the sales world as eating the frog, and just getting it done.
Yeah.
Like, just get it over with.
Yep.
And blow it out first thing out, so it's not on your to-do list, because the longer you put it off, the worse it's going to be.
Yep.
You think about yourself as a kid, you you acted up in school. Next thing you know, you got this note you have to have signed by your mom.
Yeah.
You know, how many times did you wait until the morning of, like you're getting ready to walk out the door to catch the bus, and you try to slide it in like that was going to make things better, and all you did was make it worse.
Yeah.
You know, because now mom's mad and she's going to be having a bad day all day because you just, you know what I mean? Like
Put
you
it
just
off
made
until later.
Yeah, you put it off until later. It works the same way with the things you're uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a sales call.
Yeah.
Or maybe you've got to deliver some bad news to somebody. Or, you know, maybe it's, you know, just something, a report that you have to do.
Yep.
You know, whatever that frog is, it's going to be ingrained in the back of your head. You're going to be thinking about throughout the day because you're dreading having to do it. Just get it done.
Yeah, eat the frog, and if you can't get it all done at once, at least start a small chunk, because once you start that small chunk, you'll get the momentum, and then maybe the next day you finish up half, and then maybe the next day, you know, start biting it off in chunks. All right, more from our expert contributor. We got Scott Kepler in the house. Mortgage Approval Group. Support your local lenders. Support the local economy here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. 10 ways to overcome fear and break out of your comfort zone. We're about halfway through that. And then we also have our feel-good story of the day. A note inside a book sets off a chain of random acts of kindness. Right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. Ian Beck.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. That's our number one goal here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot listings here in Tampa Bay, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We've got some great opportunities here in the commercial space as well. We got 207 Coronado Drive. It's a $3.3 million asset, 5,500 square foot lot on Clearwater Beach, close to the pier. Right across the street from the Wyndham Grand, multiple hundreds of $1 million project, depending on how you look at it. 206 Coronado Drive in Clearwater Beach. Gorgeous pictures, compliments of Fabre Frameworks, the official photographer of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Fabre Frameworks, they do a great job with their drone shots, their aerial view photography. But a great property on the beach, 207 Coronado Drive, Clearwater Beach, hot real estate property listing. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, so every day we're going to tell you something positive in our Feel Good segment of the day. We're going to tell you something good.
Tell me something good.
All right, so this is interesting. A note inside a book sets off a chain of random acts of kindness. So an inspiring note found inside a book in a random Missouri Target has inspired thousands of people to pay it forward. Ashley Joe said while shopping at Target in a self-help book caught her eye, the 27-year-old bought the book. Girl, Stop Apologizing was the title, and began reading it. When she got home, after a few minutes, her dog started barking, so she tossed the book aside. When she got back, she noticed something on the ground. $5 fell out, and it took me a second. I was like, wait, what just happened? Joe said. She flipped through the book, and in one of the last pages, there was a Post-it that read, the person that buys this book, I'm having a tough day. I thought maybe I could brighten someone else's with this little surprise. Go buy a coffee, a donut, or a face mask. Practice some self-care today. Remember that you are loved, you are amazing, you are strong. So she posted this on Twitter, and it went viral. People are pledging their own random acts of kindness. And in that moment, here's a quote, in that moment, I didn't necessarily need the pick-me-up, but I felt obligated to share it. And I'm hearing people from around the world that did. Joe said the ripple effect is pretty incredible. So, multiple people saw the post and made one person cry, but pretty cool.
Made one person cry.
Yeah. Kind of summarizing the last paragraph
that
there.
could have made somebody's day. I mean, it was a self-help book, it sounds like. So, maybe they were reading it for that purpose.
Yeah.
So, no, I think that's awesome. Anytime you can, do a random act of kindness, like,
Yeah, man.
I know you kind of close with that, is making that reference is, get out there and do it. It can be something simple.
Very simple.
It could be
Could be easy.
something that helps you feel better, too.
Exactly. And it will. All right, so we are in the middle. We got Scott Kepler in the house, mortgage approval group, local lender, support your local economy. We're talking about the 10 ways to overcome fear and break out of your comfort zone. So number 4, it says give up control. We were kind of talking about this during the break. Delegation, what a key part of business.
Oh, absolutely. We were talking about eating those, frogs and getting those things done that you don't like doing. You do that enough and you work hard enough, then you hire other people to do those things for you.
Right.
And that's how your business grows, and how you get to really hone in on the things that you want, enjoy, and too, that you're good at, and the things that are bringing in the most money, so that you can be as the rainmaker, if you will.
That's right. Yeah, Pareto principle, the top 20%. Number 5 says try something new until you feel comfortable. I love this one. Just, doing something that I've never done before. Mm-hmm. I did indoor skydiving with my daughter one time. I don't know if I'm going to do outdoors. I'm going to save that one for later. But, something new, something getting outside of the comfort zone,
Sure.
Like when's the last time that you did something that was out of the ordinary,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's it could refer to doing that as far as getting out of your comfort zone, doing something, that you didn't think you would do. Or it could be about building a new habit too. Mm-hmm. We were talking about the, routines and getting out of a routine, but, continuing to repeat that one new thing that you're trying to implement into your life. I don't know if indoor skydiving's one, but, maybe it's something else, a healthy choice that you're making, or, something like that, where you make your 10 calls that you need to make that day first thing, and you make that into a habit, a month in or so, you're going to be set, and that's going to be your new routine.
Yep. Last year I did 1 month of vegan. That's about as all I could take.
That was the limit.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. 1 month, but mixing it up, All right. So number 6 says ask the questions other people don't like to. So meaning asking those questions, tough questions, I feel address real issues and promote growth for my business, says Zerv Herman.
I think the toughest questions to ask are to somebody who will give you an honest piece of feedback on how you're doing as an individual at work.
Openly.
And as a business owner, it's hard to find that sometimes without going outside of your immediate circle of influence, especially those that work for you. Most of the time, they're not going to be 100% honest.
Right.
And that's where professional coaches come in,
Yep.
And peer groups, people that are a mastermind, if you will, whether in your industry or just as a business owner.
Absolutely.
That's where, the networking things that you put together, I think come into play is, hey, you don't have to be in real estate to come to one of those. Come check it out if you're a business owner.
Yep.
You might just meet somebody who's had a successful team that they built. And they can talk to you about how they did it. And, it's not industry specific in most cases.
Yeah. And that's a great opportunity, too, when you think about it here in Tampa Bay, all the different networking groups, chambers of commerce, so many people. They love for new people to come to those events. So if you're looking to network, get out there and just go online and search it out and go do it. All right, we're talking about the top 10 ways to overcome fear and break out of your comfort zone here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Number 8, agree to something you wouldn't normally. No, number 7, actually, start conversations with strangers. This is something I have no problem with.
Yeah, now you're a talkative guy. I'm a little bit more reserved, you know. So part of breaking out of my comfort zone is going to those type of networking events.
Yeah.
I love talking about my business. I love talking about mortgages, but I'm not the one who likely is going to just walk up to a stranger and just bring it up, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why those networking events are an easy way to break into learning the habit of talking to everybody about your business.
Yep.
Is because they're there for that purpose. So you're not going to be salesy or annoying or whatever. Plus, it gives you a chance to practice your elevator pitch, or maybe even pick up a deal or a contract, or however you judge your business. Whatever the incoming money is, it could develop a new professional or personal relationship too.
Yep.
So it's a healthy and time effective way to meet people who are of the same like mind, Yeah,
I agree. All right, agree to something number 8, agree to something you wouldn't normally consider. So I'm talking about whether it's something business related or a new strategy or accepting an invitation to join an amateur sports team on the weekends. This is what Russell Comer says, agree to something you wouldn't normally consider.
Sure. I mean, it could be that networking event, if that's not in your comfort zone, or it could be, a new marketing, source. Patrick was talking about, social media and digital media and things of that sort, being kind of what you need to understand as a business owner these days, earlier before he left. And maybe that's something that's outside of your comfort zone because you just don't understand it, or it's something your kids do, or, you're kind of behind the curve. Well, there's professionals who specialize in that stuff that can help you with that too, and maybe that's what you're, doing that's new, something healthy that could be good for your business. But,
absolutely. It's kind of like getting out there and meeting new people. The whole, one of the ones that we said earlier was try something new, same thing. Number 9, get in front of the camera. And this one's talking about creating video content or putting yourself out there, whether it's marketing, growth hacks, or tutorials on how to use certain software. Get in front of the camera.
Yeah, whatever you're the professional at, whatever you're the expert, you can be your own expert contributor.
That's right.
Just get out there and talk about things like we're doing here. We're talking about things that people are interested in. And, we tend to talk about the pieces that are associated to our business. That's why I love doing these pieces as well, because I like talking about mortgages and sharing my knowledge with people, so by creating that video content, number 1, it shows you as the professional in that field. And number 2, it helps somebody.
Yep.
And ultimately that's what we're here to try to do.
Yeah, it sure does. And last one of our top 10 ways to overcome fear and break out of your comfort zone. It's keep a list of growth goals, not just goals. It's saying growth goals. So he's saying practice public speaking, take a risk, explore new and strange ideas, keep a list close by, and always try to read it by the end of the day, because I got into the habit of reading that list. He'll now know what he's accountable for, says the gentleman.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like how he put it, growth goals, because we call them New Year's resolutions. We know they're not getting accomplished, right?
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, growth goals is definitely a good way to put it. I mean, that's, and having it in front of you just makes it real. You know, you got to repeat it to yourself, and, you know, the thoughts are things kind of, you know, thought process, or you put it out in the universe to get it back. You know, however you kind of see things.
That's
you
right.
know, essentially what you're doing is you're programming your brain to want to accomplish those things.
Yes, absolutely. You're setting that reticular activation system, that part of your brain that recognizes that shirt that you bought that you see everywhere now when you're walking around, or that car that you bought that you now see everywhere. It's that reticular activation system in the brain. Scott Kepler, Mortgage Approval Group, local lenders support the local economy. ScottKepler.com.
Yep.
ScottKepler.com. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing, carry it with you from your commute, hand it to that person that you see in need, and be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 1025 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.